Hey guys, welcome in. It's Brad with College Sportscast, and we are here tonight to do Week 8 College Game Day Pick'em. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Apparently you can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's Brad with College Sportscast. All right. And we're here to do Week 8 College Sportscast Game Day Pick'ems. What's up, John Hammonds?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
Excited about Week 8. It's not a slew of games, but there's a couple of 2 or 3 big games.
Yeah, and I got an upset pick tonight that I said I was going to save for tonight. So hopefully we'll get into that one pretty quick here.
All right. Well, again, we are College Sportscast. This is Game Day Pick'ems, Week 8, presented by the Fanboys. We are featured on Let's Talk Sports, Sideline Sports, the Real Fresh channel on Sunday nights, Stadium Rent. I write for Stadium Rent, and we are on WSBN TV Channel 30. I will tell you guys, it's storming here, and it was coming a flood a few minutes ago. So hopefully my electric doesn't kick off. Or did you hear that?
Row your boats, PJ
Flick. Yeah. As soon as I said that, it crashed. But anyways, it is storming here tonight. So, I just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah.
All right, our pick stats. Last week I was 8-4. Taylor was 7-5. John, you brought up the rear at 3. For the season, I'm 46-36. John, you're 38-44, and Taylor is 27-32. Yeah, Taylor Bell is the guy I'm talking about. He is not with us tonight, but I do have his picks. So as we go, I will go through and give his picks as well.
Yeah, I was 3-9 last week. That's not real good. So
no, man, we're gonna have to. I was 8-4, so I'm pretty happy with. If I can go 8-4 this week, I'm in pretty good shape. So
yeah, you're doing pretty good then.
Yep. All right, man. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Our first game of the week is UCF at Oklahoma is a 17.5-point favorite on DraftKings. I use DraftKings Sportsbook.
I'll be honest with you. John Rice Plumlee is set to return. He's coming back for UCF. But my biggest issue with this UCF team is that they have given up 490 yards on defense and 44 points in, I think, 2 conference games. That's not good when you're going on the road to a place like Norman that has a really good football team, a really good quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. He's been my Heisman sleeper pretty much all year long. He's showing out. He showed out in the Texas game a couple of weeks ago. I don't like UCF in this matchup, to be honest. So I'm just going to go the early route. Give me Oklahoma in the 17.5 points. I don't trust UCF's defense on the road against a good Oklahoma offense.
All right. Well, Taylor Bell from the Hopeless Sportsmantic podcast, who is on with us on occasion doing this, and he's with us this year for the Game Day Pick'ems. He's picking Oklahoma as well in this one. And for me, man, a week after beating Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, there is a small chance for a letdown, I think, because it's been an extra week and they're coming off the Texas game. But I'm still going to go Oklahoma in this one. I still think Oklahoma can cover this 17.5. I know Plumlee's coming back. That is going to give UCF a fighting chance on the offensive side of the ball. Put up some points, but I still think at home that the Sooners are going to win by more than 17.5. So give me Oklahoma in this one.
Yep.
And the second game of the week, John, is one of the biggest games of the week. We got Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State is a 4.5-point favorite.
This, to me, this game, I'll be honest, I think you're going to see a rock fight in this game. Both defenses are really good. Penn State's got a really good quarterback, and Eller. McCord is coming into his own as the quarterback at Ohio State. This is on the road, and I know that people's going to say, well, you got to go with the Buckeyes. But I think this Penn State team's different this year. I think they have the team to actually go into the shoe and do something that a lot of people don't think they can do, and that's win on the road at Ohio State and make something happen. And I think this Penn State team can do that this year. They didn't have the offense last year, but they had a defense. This year they got an offense and they got a defense. And that, to me, is going to make a difference in how Penn State wins this game Saturday. And I'm going with the upset. Penn State goes into the shoe and they knock off Ohio State this weekend. I can't hear you, man. You went out again. Give us a minute, folks. He's having technical difficulties. We've had them for 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm not sure what the problem is, but we'll figure it out here pretty quick. So let's just wait till he gets back on. There he is again.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We're going to have to get this audio fixed, brother.
Penn State, with both of you guys,
Yeah.
State kind of.
Yeah.
Leaning. I think I'm going to and do the opposite of what y'all are doing.
So you're going to Ohio State?
I think that Penn State will get one Ohio State or Michigan this year. That home, the Ohio State is on the road this week.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get my screen to scroll up. go ahead and come back up where I had to leave. All right, I'm gonna take Ohio State in this one since y'all are to Penn State. And the next game that we're about, John, at Alabama, another big, very big game this week. Alabama's a 9-point favorite.
This, to me, I don't know about this game, to be honest. Tennessee won last year. Alabama to me is very vulnerable to lose. But I'll say this: Tennessee's aerial attack is not the best. Joe Milton has not had really a great season this year. Now, Tennessee's front four, they're probably one of the better front fours in the country. I think that's going to keep them in the game this weekend. But it all boils down to a running game for me. And if Tennessee can't run against Alabama's front four their stout defense, I just don't see Tennessee win this football game, especially going on the road. And Bama's going to have revenge on their mind. Bama, they remember that game from a year ago, and they're not going to let that slip away. Their minds are going to be on that, and I think the revenge factor and the fact that it's at Alabama, Alabama's coming off 2 straight wins, 3, and they're playing Alabama football now a lot. It looks a lot better on the field. So, give me Alabama. I think Tennessee covers this game, but Tennessee's lack of pass throwing the ball is what will lose them this football game. I think they got a good running game, but you got to throw some to win.
That means you're taking Tennessee against the spread.
I'm taking Tennessee against the spread, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Taylor is taking Bama and the 9 point in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And a game that's it's a toss up, but Saban got last year. It's at home. Gosh, I want to take Bama. You know what? I think I'm going to Tennessee to cover within Tennessee and the 9 points. I think it's going to be a very tough and close game in this one. Tennessee, great run attack. Got a pretty good defense this time. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I really do.
I do
think
too.
We're looking at a 24-17, a 24-17 or 24-21 or something like that game. Is what I think.
It's going to be tight with the way the defense plays.
Yeah. All right. Game we're going to do 8 at Oregon, and Oregon is a 20 favorite.
That's pretty high, but
what do you on this one?
That's a little high, but at the same time,
Oklahoma
Washington State got smoked last week by Arizona. And I don't have no faith in Washington. I don't have faith in Washington State going to Oregon and winning this game. Last week, both these teams endured 2 painful losses, their run defense is really bad, especially lately. And Oregon leads the FBS in 6.6 yards a carry. And I think that's the difference in this football game Saturday. I just don't – that place is really hard to go into and win. And I just don't see Wazoo going in there and doing – now, they'll put some points up, don't get me wrong, but just going in there and winning straight up against Oregon – after what Oregon had happened to them last week, they're running into a buzzsaw, I think, this weekend. Give me Oregon in 20. I think they'll cover the spread.
Is taken as well. He is taking Oregon and the 20 points. Is it on the screen? There it is.
Yeah, it's on there.
Did it come up?
Yeah, it's there.
All right. So Taylor's taking Oregon as well in this. You know, after last week, seeing what Arizona did to Washington State at Washington State, 44-6, and then heartbreaking loss last week against Washington at Washington. I've got to take Oregon and the 20 points in this game. I just don't see. I thought Washington State was a little better than that, but I can't. After last week, I can't take them even at points. As South Carolina goes to, is a 7.5 favorite. South Carolina's coming off a very tough loss at home. Of course, Missouri and Kentucky, and coming off a high of that in Lexington. So, what say you on South Carolina at Missouri?
You know, this game has always been pretty tight, especially in the series. South Carolina's defense is well below average, and Brady Cook might be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Now, Kentucky limited him last week, but, you know, I don't think that had a lot to do with the win, to be honest. A lot of it had to do with Kentucky just made silly mistakes and penalties, and that's what lost them the game. At the same time, you know, Missouri's got Luther Burden. They got Theo Wees. That was the guy last week. Luther Burden only had 2 catches last week. Theo Wees had the majority of the catches, and he's the one that kind of burned Kentucky last week. So this Missouri offense has different weapons that they can go to. You know, Missouri has a habit of playing tight games, and I just think this is a below average defense. And for South Carolina, they're not real good, and they're 2-4. They're looking straight ahead at a 2-5 start. I think give me Missouri in the 7.5. I think they cover. Missouri still got an opportunity to play for the SEC championship, so which they got an opportunity in a couple of weeks. They'll get to go to Georgia. So, yeah. I can't hear you again, brother. Your mics went out again. Give it a minute. We're having a lot of audio issues. Just one of those deals. Give it a few minutes and we'll be back on. Hopefully he'll hurry us. He's back.
All right. Did you hear me say that Taylor is taking Missouri as well?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with this thing half the time.
Yeah, we talked about the Penn State game, Josh.
All right, so I'm with you guys on. Yeah, I'm with you guys on this one. I just don't see South Carolina's defense being able to stay with Missouri's offense. It's at Missouri. It's in Columbia. You know, their team is for real. They're a good team. South Carolina does have a good offense. They just don't have a good defense. So give me Missouri and the 7.5 points in this one. And the next one we're going to go to is Oklahoma State at West Virginia. West Virginia is a 3.5 point favorite at home. So what do you say on this one, John?
I like actually West Virginia in this game. Oklahoma State has come on the last couple of weeks, but on the road it's tough to win in any environment, especially in the Big 12. And Neil Brown has done a really good job with this team after starting the year. Everybody thought he was going to be fired, and he started out 4-1. Should be 5-1 to be honest, because he lost a Hail Mary game against Houston. So this is a toss-up game.
He should be 5-1.
This is a toss-up game, so I think give me West Virginia and the 3.5. I think they cover this win.
So you think West Virginia's covering?
Yeah.
Well, Taylor is taking West Virginia in this game. Oklahoma State's coming off of a nice win at home over Kansas, 39-32. In this one, this is in West Virginia. I'm tempted to take Oklahoma State in this. They've been playing a little better, but West Virginia's been playing good. But I'm kind of afraid that their heartbreak from last week is going to have a little bit of a carryover.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Oklahoma State. I'll take the 3.5 points. All right. The next is Ole Miss at Auburn, and Ole Miss is a 6 favorite.
My biggest thing with this game is, can Auburn finish the deal? 3 weeks ago, Auburn had top-ranked Georgia on the ropes for most of the fourth quarter. And can they do it this time is the question. This is a very inconsistent Ole Miss offense. They either score 40 points or they only get 2 or 3 yards at a time. And I don't know. And it's on the road. It's at Jordan-Hare. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of voodoo magic that happens at Jordan-Hare that is unexplainable a lot of times. But at the same time, I just think I trust Ole Miss's offense better than I do Auburn's, because Ole Miss or Auburn has a really hard time moving the football. You've seen that last week against LSU. Even with LSU's bad defense, they just cannot. They have a hard time finishing drives, and I think Ole Miss does that, and they finish drives, and I think they win this game. But I think Auburn does cover. This will be a tie game up until the fourth quarter. So I think give me Ole Miss in the 6.5.
So you think if you're picking Auburn to cover, that means that they get 6.5?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I get confused on these odds, and I don't. Yeah, that's what I picked.
The favorite's got to cover the spread, the 6.5. So
that's what I mean. The favorite covers is what I'm saying.
Taylor is taking Ole Miss, but you said you're to Auburn in the 6.5. Is that right?
I'm picking Auburn to cover the spread. Is what I'm saying.
All right, Taylor. Yeah, Taylor's taking Ole Miss. I just don't trust this Auburn. I know it's at Jordan-Hare, and they are likely to steal a game at Jordan-Hare, and this might be it.
Yeah, that's at the same time, Ole Miss to me is very inconsistent at times offensively. So
I'm going to take us in this one, though. I really am. I'm going to take the take Ole Miss. And Josh, we split. Hammond State, I took Ohio State because I opposite. Right, TCU at Kansas State, it's a 6.5-point favorite. Say you on this game. TCU has win against BYU without their.
I don't know, man. This is a tough game to pick because both these teams are very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. My biggest thing in this game is Kansas State is better at protecting the football than what TCU does. They're ranked 46th in the country in turnover differential, and they don't hurt themselves in penalties like TCU does. And plus, this is on the road at Kansas State, which I think, this game could be one or two ways. It could be a blowout or it could be a shootout. So, but at the end of the day, I think you give me Kansas State and they cover this game. I lost you again, man. I can't hear you, man. We'll be back. The audio has been really bad the last 2-3 weeks, so just bear with us. Give it a few minutes. He'll be back. Good. There he is. He's back.
I think my internet it's running back.
Yeah.
Because storm seems to be cutting in and
Yeah, it's really lagging in
way
that.
more. Steelers taking Kansas as well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it to come back up for me. I think I'm going to take Kansas one at home as well, and kind of go with you guys on this one. I don't trust the TCU. I know they had a big win against BYU at home last week, but I don't trust them.
No.
Let's talk about it.
Let's see here.
It's Duke.
I like Florida State in this game. I think regardless of whether
Undefeated teams in the ACC.
Well, regardless of whether Riley Leonard plays or not, I'm still going to pick Florida State. I just don't see Duke going into Florida State and winning, especially at night at Doak Walker. That's a tough environment to play in. It's a big opportunity for Duke, though. If Duke could go in there and win at 5-1, it could probably set them up for the ACC championship. But there's just a lot of variables there for Duke to be able to pull it off. So
Riley Leonard's going to play.
If he does, even if he does, I don't think they go in there and win. I think Florida State wins, but I don't think Florida State covers the 14.5 though.
So you're taking Duke.
Yeah, taking Duke. Yeah.
In the 14.5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing is going against the spread. So Taylor's taking. I'm tempted to take Duke, especially if Riley Leonard plays. But I'm taking SU. So I'm really leaning towards that he won't play.
Man, you're lagging bad.
Yeah. Half points. They over the spread here. Talk about is Utah.
This has been pretty rough tonight.
But now it was storming earlier. It's been storming, so I don't know. My internet is not running right after that. Can you hear me?
Pick, I think. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, Taylor's taking FSU, and I think I'm going to take FSU on this one, and then we was going Utah. Utah at USC. USC's a 7-point favorite.
I think I'm going to take USC in this game. Utah has been very inconsistent pretty much all year long. Except I think the Florida game where they looked really good. And then they just kind of, I don't know, they just back and forth. It just don't seem like that they're being really consistent with it. And they still win games, and that's the thing with Utah. They still win games because of their defense. I think Utah will do enough to contain USC's offense, but I think you got to have some offense to win games. And I just don't think Utah has enough of it to go into USC and win. But give me Utah on the 7 points. Yeah, I agree with you, Jared. If they had their quarterback, it would be a definite lock. But if you got to rely on a little bit of offense, and Utah's not had that in the last 3 weeks, but they've won because they've had a really consistent defense. You got to have some offense to beat USC, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to do that.
Well, they scored 34 last week.
They did, but it's been
it was against California.
It's been very inconsistent. Is all I'll say on it.
So Taylor's picking Utah to cover the 7-point spread in this one, and I've been a Utah fan since. I really wish that he was playing. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, but he has not been cleared to play. So, but that defense is for real, and USC's defense is not.
No, they're pretty bad.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Utah on the 7 points in this one as well.
Yep.
Clemson is a 3-point favorite at Miami. That's our next game we're going to talk about. What do you think on this one, John?
I don't want to touch this game, to be honest, because you don't know which team of these are going to show up. Miami of the last 2 weeks, or the Miami first of the year. These teams are very underachieving squads this year. To me, Miami would be the best bet at home. I think their offense is better than Clemson's at times. Clemson's got a good defense, but Miami's got a good offense. And Miami needs to rebound. The last 2 weeks, oh my goodness, it's been tough. The fumble. And then getting beat by Georgia Tech in the last seconds, then the North Carolina game. I think Miami can throw the ball on Clemson. I don't think they're going to be able to run as much. But I still think you got to take Clemson this game, the more experienced team, I think. This is a game that's huge for both sides, in my opinion. Both teams are needing a win in a desperate way. And I think you give me – I'm going to take Clemson, and I think they cover the 3-point spread.
You're going to take Clemson?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to.
Taylor is taking me in this one?
I don't want to, but it's not because I dislike Clemson. It's just the fact
Taylor's
that they're both inconsistent, and it's Miami's at home, and I just think Clemson will win it, though.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Clemson and the 3 points, and the reason why I'm going to do it is I think Clemson has the better defense.
That's the key.
I think Clemson can keep Miami's offense out of the end zone, and I think that Miami can keep Clemson out of the end zone. They're not going to get in, wouldn't get in the zone as much, but I think they'll score enough, and the defense will stop them in the red zone. And I think Clemson covers the 3 points.
Yeah, I do too.
Last
Michigan at Michigan State. Oh, goodness. This is a game that Michigan State is in a disarray. Michigan State's defense, for me, can hold its own. They're third nationally in third down defense, top 25 in red zone defense. They're third nationally in rush yards allowed. I don't think this is going to be a game where Michigan can impose its will because, their defense is really stout. it's the other side of the ball that I'm worried about. Michigan State does not move the ball at all, hardly. And when they do, they don't get a lot of points out of it. They didn't have much yardage against Rutgers last week. And if you can't score and turn points into red zone chances, you're not going to win more times than not. I think the home team has a good shot at covering this game, which is Michigan State. And plus, it's a rivalry game. Both teams know each other. It's a night game at Michigan State. They're going to be up for this game because it's simple. It's a hate rivalry game. They both don't like each other, and I think both teams are going to come out fired up to play. But in the end, I just think Michigan has the better team. Michigan has the better running backs. Michigan has the better quarterbacks, and even the most talented teams, they struggle at times against good defenses. And Michigan State's got a decent defense. I think it'll be close for a while, but I think Michigan, towards the end of the game, they'll impose their will and they'll win this game. Yeah. I can't hear you, brother. We'll be back in a minute. His audio is just all over the place. But like I said, the Michigan State rivalry, it's a big deal every year. They both hate each other. I think there's a chance for Michigan State to slide in here and have a backdoor cover. This Michigan team is really, really good. They're good against the run and against the pass. They're hard to game plan against. And like I said, Michigan State is not a very good elite offensive team, and they're just going to struggle this weekend, I think. And it's going to be close for a while, but at the end,
you got to go Michigan.
Do and Michigan's just going to wear them down eventually. So,
yeah, I'm picking. Yes, no. Can you hear me?
oh yeah, he was going in and out. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, I'm taking Michigan in this one. Upset pick of the week, John. You won last week.
I did.
Down at the
Notre
bottom.
Dame. Yep.
You did. You picked Oklahoma State.
Oh, I did. That's right. Oklahoma State over
You picked Oklahoma State
over Kansas. Yep.
Yep.
This week
You're the only one that has won an upset pick.
Well, thank you, Jesus. I finally won something. My upset pick this week. Oh my goodness, I don't know who to go after, man. Because there's not a lot of like games to really picking up. You get what I mean? Like, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go this route, and if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. I'm gonna pick Mississippi State over Arkansas on the road. I think Arkansas is in a downward spiral, which Mississippi State is too. But I think Mississippi State, for me, has been more consistently, than Arkansas, I think, especially offensively. Arkansas had that one good game against LSU, and it was just kind of like after that, they just kind of fell off. I don't know. I mean, they had chances to beat Alabama. They've had chances to win games. And I'll be honest with you, the winner of this game is sitting pretty good, but the loser of this game, it's gonna be a downward spiral for one of these guys because I think both of them's 2-5. I think and the loser's probably going to be 2-6. So the winner of this game needs to take care of business, because I don't see a bowl in anybody's future with a loss here by either team.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State over West Virginia for my upset pick of the week. Mine.
Let's see here.
Trying to get to Taylor's. Hang on just a minute. I had to scroll down. Now I'm having to go back up. All right. Taylor's upset pick of the week is Penn State over Ohio State. That'd be a big upset if he can get that.
My lock of the week.
Taylor won lock of the week last week by picking LSU.
My lock of the week is North Carolina, Virginia.
Go ahead. Lock of the week.
My lock of the week is West Virginia, or Virginia, North Carolina. This game should not be close whatsoever. Tennessee beat them by 36. Maryland beat them by 28. And neither of those teams are better than North Carolina, I don't think, especially offensively. UNC's putting up some of the crazy numbers, top 15 numbers in yardage and scoring. I don't even think they'll pose a threat to this team.
Taylor's lock of the week.
23 points. So give me 23 points in North Carolina. I just don't. Virginia is really bad right now.
They are. I agree with that. Lock of the week is FSU over Duke at 14.5. And decided on my lock of the week yet?
I'm 0-7 still. Goodness gracious.
I'm going to take my lock of the week at 17.
Maybe I win the lock of the week this week. Maybe.
1.5. Do what?
I said maybe I win the lock of the week this week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Oklahoma, my lock of the week. All right, guys. The next show is better than this was as far as the way it runs. Our next one is Sunday, 22nd at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Weekend wrap-up show for Week 8. Trying to get it up on the screen.
This one's been a tough one. It's storms and
I was trying to do it a little faster, so Yeah. I had some storms here, and it did knock the power out earlier, so the way it's supposed to. So, but anyways, we are College Sportscast. This has been our game day pick'em Week 8, and I appreciate you guys being with us and hanging with us. And we will see you on Sunday.
See you, man.